Starting on your back, all the way down, keep your knees bent, and just to start with some movement, let your knees fall from one side to the other. So just allowing this to be some gentle movement to start. You know, we're midday, you guys have all been moving around, I'm sure, in your morning, but this is just sort of the yoga teacher in me wanting you to sort of drop into your body and just feel connected with some movement, some breath, and just ready to start movement and intentional movement at that. Good, letting your knees start to come to stillness in the middle, setting up for just a bridge. So lifting the hips up, squeezing the glutes, holding at the top just a little bit, driving down through the heels, and then thinking about those feet pulling towards your shoulders to ignite your hamstrings. And then coming down all the way to the tailbone with intention. And then pausing here, and we're gonna do some pelvic tilt. So we did it last week with our feet up on a chair. This time, feet on the ground. On an exhale, you're gonna tip the tailbone up as you flatten the low back. And what you'll feel is a bracing through the core, like knitting the rib cage together, low belly toned. And then on your inhale, release. We're gonna do a few more of those. The exhale, nice and long and smooth. Find that bracing, and then release. So just waking up the core muscles here. You won't see a lot of movement in my body because it's really just through the core. Your tailbone will come a little light. And then as you do these, be mindful of what the shoulders and neck are doing. Try not to hang on to tension there. So just using your exhale, finding that bracing, inhale, release. Let's do two more. Good, so now this next one, you're gonna go all the way up. You're gonna use your pelvic tilt and go all the way up into your bridge. So now my hips are up. I've got, my shoulders are relaxed, pushing down through my heels to drive my hips up, and then release down. You can stick with just that simple bridge, or you can add in the arms. Inhale, exhale, all the way up. Inhale down. So don't worry so much about what your breath is doing. Just don't hold your breath. And let the breath kind of come in and out as you move through your dynamic bridge. So getting the shoulders to warm up here, back of the body, opening up the front of the body. Let's do two more. Last one here. All right, pausing with your hips down. Let's take your left foot and bring it more towards the center of your body. And then raise your right leg. Now you can choose to stay with both feet on the ground if you want to stay there. So if you're raising your right leg, bring your knees so that they're the same height. We're going to do a single leg bridge. So drive through the left heel, lift. Okay? Try to keep your legs level with each other. Hips are level, so try not to let one hip pull up or down. Belly pulls in, drive through that left heel, ignite the glute. And now 5 little pulses here. Drop and high, lower. Lower and push up. There you go, good. 2 more. Last one all the way up. Hold 3, 2, 1. Release all the way down. Just a little bit of windshield wipering between sides. And now let's go for the right side. Right foot comes more towards the center of the body. Lift the left leg, knees are at the same height. Drive through the right heel, come up into your single leg bridge. Hips stay parallel to each other, level with each other. Drive through the right heel, ignite that glute. Try to let go of tension throughout the neck and shoulders. And then 5 pulses. Holding at the top for 3, 2, 1, release down, and windshield wiper. All right, pausing in the middle here. Now bring the knees up over the hips and the shins parallel the floor. Let the hands just rest on the ground by your side. So on your exhale, you're gonna drop a heel towards the mat. Use that pelvic tilt to find the bracing in the core and then come back up to center. So dead bugs, you're gonna alternate which leg, which foot you're dropping. Now, if you're good here and you wanna go a little bit more, arms raised, and it's opposite, whoop, there we go, nope. Opposite leg and arm that extend. So just make sure that you're getting that pelvic tilt as you extend arm and leg. If you want more even here, extend that leg straight, keep going. And then if you're like, I really would like more challenge than this, both arms, straighten the legs, come out wide, and back up with a little lift at the top. We're gonna do 6 more, wherever you're at in your dead bug. Two more after this one. One more. All the way up. Good, release the arms and legs long. Push your belly button up, take a full breath, just a little bit of stretch across the front of the body. Good, all right. Now, whatever you have, either, I have a yoga block, but I also suggested any kind of ball, a pillow, a roll of toilet paper, anything that has a little bit of lift to it. Okay. So, and if you don't have anything, you can just put yourself in the position without the blocker or item, okay? So those feet come, or the knees come over the hips again, shins parallel to the floor. Take your block or whatever you're using and put it on your left knee, okay? And then your right elbow is gonna lift across the body and pin it. My right shoulder is also up off of the floor. I'm gonna bring my hands to the back of my head. And I'm gonna push my knee into the block and my elbow into the block, and I'm gonna feel my core engage, okay? And then my exhale, my right leg is gonna extend long. Good. Keep going with an extension of that leg. Now, if this feels like too much, just drop the heel, okay? Extend that leg, keeping your chest into a rotated position to the left. Good. Keep going here. 5 more. Good, you guys are looking good. I can see those of you who did set up your camera so I can see you. We're on the same count, that's excellent. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good, release your feet to the ground. Whatever feels good here between sides. You can windshield wiper, you can push up into a bridge. Just whatever feels like it resets you for the other side. Okay, so now knees up over the hips. Block or item is on your right knee. Left elbow comes across, left shoulder comes off. Pin it, actively pin it. Okay, hands behind the head. Okay, and pushing your knee into the block, elbow into the block, extend the left leg on an exhale, back to center. Really find that pelvic tilt as you extend the left leg. Keep that chest in rotation to the right and that left shoulder is lifted. We have 5 more after this one. Two more. Last one. Good. Release the block or whatever you got off to the side. And let the feet or the legs windshield wiper or a bridge just to reset here. Okay, we are coming up onto all fours. And you'll want your hands off of the mat. So knees can be on the mat. You can even give your knees a little extra cushion by rolling up your mat a bit. You guys can see me. Let me rotate myself a little bit this way. All right, so I'm in a tabletop position, and I've got my hands underneath my shoulders, my knees underneath my hips, and I'm pulling my belly in. Right hand is going to slide forward as I bend my left hand and let my chest drop. You'll feel a stretch through underneath the right shoulder, and then coming back up to center. Keep the belly in. Now we're going to switch sides. So bending the right elbow, left hand reaches out. Chest drops. So my hips really actually don't move. It's really my hand and my chest. So feel kind of like a push-up type of feeling in the left hand here, and then right hand as you stretch through that opposite. So just moving from one side to the other, kind of igniting shoulder and chest here, keeping the belly in. Let's do 2 more each side. And finding a full range of motion here on this one. And last side here. Good. Okay, now we're going to do some push-ups with different hand placement. Now your push-ups can absolutely be done from the knees if you like. Okay, so if you're doing it from the knees, I want you to make sure you're finding that plank-like position from your head, the crown of the head, all the way to the knees. Now, if you're up on your toes, it's the same thing, but now a nice long position from the crown of the head to the heels, okay? I want you to take your hands wide, wider than shoulder, okay? And you've got 5 push-ups here with a wide stance. 2, 3, 4, 5. If your knees are up, you can put them down. Find a neutral stance, so just about right underneath the shoulders, might be slightly wider. 5 push-ups with a neutral stance. Use your exhale to come up. 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees if they're higher. Now we're going to come into a narrow stance push-up. This is going to be more of a tricep push-up. So squeeze the elbows in. Okay, and on this one, whether you're on your knees or toes, I want you to shift your weight forward so you feel it in your fingertips and drop your chest down. Squeeze the elbows in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel my triceps. Do you? Good, done. Just stretch here into a child's pose. Letting that kind of stretch out, catch your breath for a moment. And we're coming up into a standing position now. It's okay if I can't see your upper half, really. You can't see mine either. I am warm enough. I'm taking off my long sleeves. Yay. Okay. And I will actually raise my camera for you all. You guys don't need to do that. Okay. Body weight squats. So somewhere between shoulder and hip width. You drop your hips back and down like you're sitting in a chair and come up. Feel free to add those arms in front of you. And just getting the legs, the hip complex, the knees, the ankles, all kind of warmed up here with their turn in the warm up. Make sure that the hips shift back, chest stays up, and you want to pull that belly in, especially at the lowest point of your squat. Keep going. Now you can speed it up. You're feeling good here. Give your hips a little extension at the top and squeeze your glutes. Let's do 5 more. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Coming to stillness. Balance on the left leg. So for some of you, balancing on the left leg may be with a toe tap. That's fine. Okay, if you've got plenty of balance, bring that right knee up to about a right angle. Now I want you to feel your left glute pull underneath you so that you have the ability to stack your entire body. All the major joints are stacked and hold. I want you to actually feel your left glute. Give it a little poke. Make sure it's pulled in and engaged. Low belly is pulled in. We're just holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's switch sides. Okay, so now the left side, right leg is balancing. And wherever your balance is, that's where you hold. So, you know, we're still in warm-up phase, so don't feel like you've got to push to your ultimate, but definitely starting to warm up. So take your finger, right glute, give it a poke, make sure it's actually pulled in and engaged so that you can Be tall and stack all your joints. Holding here, keeping that right hip into a little bit extension, just a little bit as you squeeze that glute. Low belly pulled in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, release. Okay, back to body weight squats. Shifting the hips back, keeping the chest broad, belly's pulled in at the lowest point of your squat. All right, now I want you to focus on, if you could, rip the mat or the floor or the rug underneath you, rip it apart. So you'll feel that engage your whole outer thigh, okay? Feel that ripping apart of the of anything underneath you as you come down into your squat. Good, keep going. We're just about the end of our warm up here. 5 more. 4. Give in a little squeeze at the top. 3, 2, 1. Good. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warmed up. You can grab a drink. And if you come to the camera just to kind of check it out. Oh, it comes backwards, doesn't it? I wonder if there's a way to fix that. Well, that doesn't work out well. Anyway, we're doing intervals of 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. 8 rounds total. We'll be doing 2 rounds of those 8 rounds. First one, we've got 4 exercises. And just like last week, we're going to go through those exercises one by one so that you've got a version that works for you, okay? Because we're going to do it multiple times. First exercise is a scorpion bridge. So we're just trying it out here. Get your mat. This might be a place where you'd like to add some weights. Okay, so I'm going to start off with 5-pound weights, but 3-pound weights, 8-pound weights, those all work. Okay, so I'm going to come into my bridge position. And I'm going to have my hands, whether they have weights or not, stacked right above my elbows. Okay, so I'm in my bridge position. And as I push up into my bridge, my right hand, I'm going to start with my right hand, is going to come up across and touch maybe back behind me. And then I'll come back to center. And then I'm going to switch sides. So my range of how far I twist, how far I come down is really up to you. And then once you find that rhythm in where your range of motion is, you can add a little bit of speed. Try not to forget about the bridging part, okay? So hopefully everybody found a version there with weights, without weights, range of motion, all of that felt okay. So that's exercise 1. Exercise 2 is a mountain climber. Now for those of you who might feel like being on the floor in plank position, doing 40 seconds of mountain climbers feels kind of tough, you can have a chair. Elevate yourself up. I've got a bench here. You can kind of see me there. So you can elevate yourself so you're not on the floor. You're still in the same plank position. You can even do it from your elbows if you have wrist issues. So you can do planks from an elevated position. Okay, I'm going to do them down here. Okay, so I want you everybody just to kind of work their version, figure out something that works. If you're in your plank on your hands, make sure your shoulders are pulled down the back, the belly's pulled in, and you're just pulling your knees to the chest. Okay, notice my hips aren't going up or down, they're not swaying back and forth. I'm staying as sturdy and steady as possible. 40 seconds is a long time of those, so if you feel like you ever need a break, take your little reset with a breath, and then get right back into it, okay? So hopefully everybody found a version of mountain climbers that work for you. Okay, third exercise. I'm gonna raise my camera so you can see. This is a combination of 2 of the warm-up exercises. It's a squat, and then I wanna see that soldier position here. It's a squat, we're staying on one leg. Squat, I want to find that single leg balance at the top. And then you can add a little bit of speed as long as you've got control. Now, if this leg lift, this balance part is not in your practice, that's fine. Little step and balance with a toe tap, okay? Good. I'm seeing you guys with the cameras. You guys are doing great. So that's one we're gonna switch. We'll stay on the right side for 40 seconds. When we come back around, we'll do the left, okay? Last one, this is probably the most complicated. I'm just gonna preface it with that, but it's a great one. It's called an alligator push-up. If you look at these and you're like, whoa, not gonna be doing that, you can go back to what we did in the warm-up. That was 5 wide, 5 narrow, 5 neutral, 5 narrow push-ups. So an alligator push-up looks like this. Okay, you can almost see all of me. I'll kind of travel a little bit. Okay, so you do need a little bit of room to travel. Let me explain it now. Okay, so an alligator push-up uses a crawling motion, right? So one hand, opposite foot, okay? You're gonna start in a plank position. Why don't everybody start with me? There we go. Good. Okay, so right hand, left foot, small step. Turn to your bent knee. Find whatever push-up you can do here. If you need help getting up, lower that left knee to come up. And then switch sides. Look right, lower down, step. Look left, lower down, step. When you run out of space, turn around and keep going. So again, alligator push-ups are hard. So if you need a break, great, to make it quick, okay? If you need to go to push-ups in the middle, go to push-ups. Just make sure that you're moving throughout. I just want to make sure we're all good to go. So I'm gonna unmute you all. Is everybody good? Is there any questions before we go on?
My floor is really slippery to do those alligator things. I slide on.
It's slippery? Do you have a yoga mat?
Yeah, so just try and.
You could start at the very end of the yoga mat and kind of work your way down. And once you get to the end of your yoga mat, you could turn around. Do you think that would work?
Okay, we'll try that.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys. Okay. 40 seconds of work here. Okay, I will talk you through it. You don't have to remember everything, but hopefully you guys have found a version of all of those that work. Okay, bridge. So scorpion bridge. Starting on the ground, add weight if you'd like. Okay, remember you don't have to have weight. And I'll start my timer. I think I can probably put my timer in a place you can see it too. Okay, 40 seconds, starting in 10, so set yourself up in a bridge position. Stack your hands with or without weight over the elbows. And we're gonna come across, here we go. Begin. Coming across, you can take it slow and controlled, really still kind of finding that range of motion that works for you. Don't forget about that glute bridge. Really push those hips up, pull the belly in, and reach up and across. Keep going, we're over halfway. I'm just gonna take a little peek. Nice job, you guys are looking great. Keep going, we've got 5 seconds. All right. You have 20 seconds to catch your breath and also transition to the next one, which is mountain climbers. I'm going to do it on the ground, but remember, you can do it from a chair. Remember to take breaks when needed. Just make it quick. 3, 2, 1, here we go. I suggest you start out slow. One of the things I like to do is find a pace, and then around halfway, pick it up just a little bit to the end. Make sure those shoulders are pulled down your back, so try not to let them come up towards your ears. All right, we're over halfway, so I'm gonna pick it up just a little bit. 10 seconds, come on. You're gonna get your heart rate up here. If you're resetting, make it quick. And almost there. Good. Coming up into a standing position. We're gonna do our squat to high knee with the right leg. We've got 7 seconds. All right, here we go. Drop low, find balance, drop low, make sure that left glute is really working for you. Really get that knee up high. You can even use your hand. Give you a little resistance. Drop low into the heels. Keep the chest up high. Finding control, but if you can do control, then find a little bit of pace change. 10 seconds. Next is alligator crawls. Start to wrap your head around that now. Almost there. All right. Remember alligator crawls, crawling motion. One hand, opposite leg. Look to the bent knee. Lower down, push up, and then come up and continue. 5 seconds. I'm going to kind of start so you can't see my entire body, so I have a little bit of length to move. Here we go. Take that step with both hand and leg, lower down, come back up. When you get to the end of your runway, flip it around and do that quick. And then know that push-ups that we did in warm-up are always there for you. If you're feeling like this might not be the right choice for you today. Keep going, we got 8 seconds. Come on, you can do it. All right, so we're going right back up to the top now. So back to our bridges with weight. We have one more time through all of those. So setting yourself up, I'm gonna use 8 this time. See how that feels. All right, here we go. Reach and lift. Reach and lift. And I'm going to slow it down a little bit because I am using more weight. So if you chose to up your weight, make sure you're able to find control with that weight. I'm also adjusting my range of motion. We're over halfway. Our next one is mountain climbers. Keep going. 5 seconds. Keep moving. All right, here we go. Mountain climbers are next. In your mountain climber too, one of the other ways you can kind of help your body recover is driving your knee in a different angle, like across your body, out wide. Here we go, begin. So start with just your normal mountain climber, but know that there are other places to drive your knee, like the outside of the elbow and across the body. Feel free to experiment with those different angles of drive of the knee, or just stick with a nice steady pace. We are over halfway. We have one more and then we get a nice little longer break. Keep moving, you're almost there, 5 seconds. All right, I lied actually, 2 more exercises. We're coming up to our feet. We're gonna be the left leg this time. So our left leg will be doing that single leg balance with that high knee, adding that hand for resistance. All right, here we go. Drop down, lift up, right glute. Come on, get that right glute to really engage, shifting that hip forward. Nice job, you guys. Really pull that low belly in as you lift and balance. 15 seconds. We got alligator crawls next. I'm gonna watch this time. I wanna see you guys do them. 5 seconds. All right, alligator crawls. Okay, know that you can do the push-ups, no pressure. Alligator crawls start. High plank. We got 8 seconds, 5 seconds now. All right, 3, 2, 1. Remember, step, look, drop. Step, look, drop. Keep going. Good, I'm seeing push-ups. Make sure that those hips in your push-ups don't drop and that your head also doesn't drop. Try to keep your head in line with your shoulders. Good, nice. Kelly, I'm seeing those nice narrow ones. Keep those elbows plugged in for the narrow ones. You guys have 15 seconds. And then we get a nice long break here. Keep going. Pull those shoulders down your back. Don't let them ride up. We've got 3 seconds. Keep moving. You can do it. All right. Nice job, you guys. Come up off your mat, take a drink, walk around a little bit. Anybody else have sweaty faces like me? Okay, so while you're getting your drink and catching your breath, we are going to do those same exercises. So the exercises aren't going to change. It's going to be how those exercises are organized. So we're going to stick with 2 exercises and we're going to go back and forth so that you've done both of them twice. And then we're done with those, and then we'll go to the last 2 and we'll do those twice, and then we'll be done with that round. Okay, so I'll talk you through it. The first 2 exercises are the scorpion bridge and the mountain climbers. Okay, so yes, we are not done with all of those. Okay, so what I want you to do, you're going to be on the ground here for these 2 exercises, back and forth 4 times through. So you'll be on your mat. And then again, it'll be 40 seconds, 20 seconds, so 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds to rest and transition. Okay. All right, so we're starting on your back in a bridge position. And I think I'll stick with 8s. But again, make the choice about what you're doing with weights if you have them, on how your body's feeling this movement. And, you know, with all exercise, find your edge, right? That's one of the benefits of exercising, is finding your edge and working at that, at your potential. Okay, we are ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, here we go, 40 seconds. Lift and reach, lift and reach. And then making sure, you know, I mean, we're over halfway here of our workout. So making sure you're really dialing in all the parts. You've got your core engaged, you're lifting your hips nice and high. I forgot to tell you, when you do this, oftentimes you kind of stretch out and your feet become further away from your shoulders. And one way to avoid that is by pulling your heels towards your shoulders as you come back to center. So a little tug on the heels here, tug on the heels. All right, mountain climbers. You have weights, put them off to the side, and preparing for your mountain climbers. Remembering you've got a chair, you can drive your knees in different directions, so feel free to make this a little bit yours. Here we go, 40 seconds here. You know, if there's a point that you're going to challenge yourself, it's in this round. It's our second round, you're fully warmed up. You only have to do this exercise 1 more time. 20 seconds, halfway. Keep it moving, belly in. If you're resetting, make it fast. Shoulders down the back, belly pulled in. Come on. 5 seconds. Keep going. And whoo, take a second just to rest. We are coming back into bridges. This is our last time doing this. Set yourself up. We've got 5 seconds. All right, here we go. Lift and reach. Find control, then add speed. Keep that breath nice and steady. And know that you're kind of following the weight or your hands with your eyes. It helps. And then giving your heels a little tug as you come down so that you don't become too long in your stance. Keep going. 10 more seconds. Hold your breath. Almost there. All right, we are done with those guys. Last round of mountain climbers. Choose your sort of version of them. Feel free to change your version as well. All right, here we go. Starting now. Pull those knees in. I'm going to do some alternating of different knee drives through these ones. Chooses different muscles. Halfway. Come on. Don't get sloppy. Belly in, shoulders down. 5 seconds. Woo, wee. All right. All right, no long break yet. We're coming up to our feet. And we're gonna start with our right leg. You've got the squat, high knee, single leg balance in 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Drop and raise. Remember, left glute, find it. Have that be the focus when you stand. You can give your right knee some resistance. One hand, both hand. Keep that belly in, spine tall. We're over halfway. Remember, if you find control, then you can find speed. Sink it down into your hip or into your heels. We got alligator crawls next. All right, so alligator crawls or push-ups, 5 wide, 5 neutral, 5 narrow. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Remember your one hand, other leg, look lower. Switch. Keep going. Making those resets nice and slow. Nice and fast. 14 seconds. Come on, guys. Remembering, you can always start with alligator crawls and then move to a push-up. 3, 2, 1. Coming to standing. Okay, left leg is the leg raising here. Five seconds. All right, here we go. Lower down, left leg higher. Good, right glute. Focus in on that right glute. Really push that right hip forward. Engage the right glute, belly in. Try not to use momentum to come out of the squat. Use control. Over halfway. And then we have one more. Alligator squats. Sorry, alligator crawls. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. 5 more seconds. Finding that single leg balance with control. All right. Last 40 seconds. seconds here, okay? Dig deep. Alligator control, crawls or push-ups. And we got 7 seconds. Okay, here we go. Begin. Come on. Make sure you're keeping your form. Shoulders aren't creeping up to the ears. Belly is in. Halfway, we're over halfway now. Keep it going. Oh boy, come on. Less than 10 seconds. Last couple, come on. Keep it going. All right. Woo. Done. Hey, I gotta catch my breath. Get a drink. All right, you guys. So our workout, that was it. I have 3 stretches for you. The trainer and me just really needs to make sure we get in these stretches. If you're on a time crunch and you gotta go, feel free to go because we are at about 45 minutes. So I know that's the scheduled had listed. We are gonna start, you can use a chair or be on your back. We're gonna do a figure 4. So it's gonna target your outer hip. There we go. So hard to figure out where I should put my mat. There we go. Okay. So if you're on a chair, you're sitting right up to the edge of the chair. And if you're on the mat, you're gonna lay down as if you're doing a bridge. And we'll start with the left ankle on the right knee. Keep a good flex to that left foot so that the knee stays in alignment that it likes. And then reach through the figure 4 for the hamstring on your right leg. And rock your hips forward, pulling that right knee into the chest. And then with your left elbow, kind of giving that left knee a little push away from the chest. So you might be like me, still catching your breath. So kind of allow that to happen here. And especially if the stretch feels particularly strong in your left hip. Each inhale, just think of that breath going to your hip. Again, this is kind of the yoga teacher in me. And your exhale, release tension out. Even if it's not tension in your hip that you're releasing, it's maybe the shoulders, maybe the jaw. We're gonna hold this for another probably 30 seconds or so. So if you do need to kind of come out of it and then let yourself back in, okay, you can do that. Or if you need to come up to a chair from laying, we're gonna hold this for a little bit longer, 15 or 20 seconds longer. Hopefully your breathing is settling down into its natural rhythm. And then go ahead and lower. And then just like we did in the beginning, kind of just letting the knees fall side to side. And now we'll do right ankle on left knee. And then thread the needle through the 4 and reach through and grab your left hamstring. And then pulling that left knee towards your chest, right elbow might be able to be in a position to push your right knee away from the chest. And for me, this side feels quite a bit more tense than the other side. So I'm just gonna let that be and kind of ease myself into it. And again, we'll be here for probably close to a minute. So take this time to just, again, let your breath settle and just find a little bit of stillness in the body. Keep holding that. Got another maybe 3 or 4 breaths there. And then slowly releasing out of that and just letting the knees, windshield wiper, back and forth. And then coming up, I like to sit on my knees, but if that's not comfortable for you, you can just sit on your back, on your butt, or even a chair. If you brought a chair and you're like, oh, I'd much rather sit on the chair, great. And we're just kind of getting into a position that you feel comfortable here in an upright torso position. I want you to take your right arm underneath and allow sort of the shoulder blades. You can even grab if you don't want, if this doesn't feel quite right, if you want to just grab your shoulders, just feeling your shoulder blades pull away from the spine. You can even tuck the chin a bit, around the back a little bit. So either here or here. And then slowly lower the hands, whether you're here, just bending through the belly and coming all the way up, looking up, bending down, back up. And then staying in neutral, unwinding. So that was our right arm underneath. I want you now to go left arm underneath and either hug the shoulders or wrap the hands up. And then again, just feeling the shoulder blades pull away from the spine, maybe even a rounding of the back and a tucking of the chin. And then doing that same thing, rounding and pulling the elbows down and back up, maybe into a little bit of a back bend. Either place with your hands, just moving the spine with the shoulder blades away from the spine. Good. And then coming to neutral and unwinding the hands, and then bring the hands and interlace them behind your back. And then for some of you, going to a straight arm might be, something that's possible. Many of you might just need to keep a bend in the elbow, but what I want you to feel is an opening in the chest, so an external rotation of the shoulders. And I want you to keep the belly in so that you don't end up arching like this. That's an over-exaggeration, but I want you to keep that neutral low back and just find that opening here of the shoulders. And then allow the head to just roll in a complete circle and stopping anywhere that might feel particularly good. And then slowly bending the elbows and just shaking everything out. And we are all done. Nice job, you guys. Thanks for coming and tuning in.